Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today to celebrate the Richard Martinez building dedication. My name is Sarah Munoz, and I'm the Deputy Director here at the City of Corpus Christi and Public Works. It is my honor and pleasure to introduce you today to our City Manager, Peter Zanoni.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hi. How are we doing? Good. So we're in an extreme drought, and the National Weather Service also issued an extreme weather advisory for today, right? I didn't plan that, but so hang on to your hats, right, if you have one. Yeah, right. Okay. Great. Well, I'm Peter Zanoni, the City Manager, and we want to welcome everybody here this afternoon. I'm seeing our employees are here as well. This is a great event. It's going to be maybe a little solemn, but it should be a happy event as well to commemorate one of our significant buildings for one of our top core services to the late Richard Martinez, who touched a lot of our lives and the entire cities, really, in terms of recreating our focus on streets in our community. So normally I have a script to read from, and Sony said, you know what, Peter? This one we want you to do from the heart, so we're not going to write anything down. I said, okay, let's give it a shot. So I have nothing to go by, but I'm going to speak from the heart and then talk a little bit about, I think, what this means to have the building dedicated after the late Richard. So before I do that, though, I want to acknowledge the employees that are here. Yesterday, we had a great lunch with the Public Works employees. The second time, probably, maybe in, I don't know, many decades, just to acknowledge the work that they do and the importance of what they do in our community. And it was a great event. I got a chance to talk to them, and I try to see them as much as I can. But that was real good. It was just right over here in this building. Yeah, I guess it was right in there. So for the Public Works employees, we said it yesterday, we care about them. That's my message to them yesterday. And I think this tremendous turnout here today demonstrates that as well. I know we're here to commemorate Richard, but I think the importance of streets and what the crews do every day, not only in streets, but in traffic management and stormwater and sidewalk management, all that, it's critical to the community. And I think this demonstrates it, the fact that we have such a big turnout here today. Would you all agree, folks in the crowd, right? Yeah. So if folks can't see in the back, we have, I think, just about all the city council here. The mayor would have been here, but she's under the weather. But we have Councilman Martinez at large, Councilman Lerma, City Council District 1, Councilman Pusley at large council member, Councilman Hernandez, City Council District 5, Councilman Ben Molina, City Council District 2, and Councilman Smith, City Council District 4, all here today. And so for the city employees, we mean business when we care about streets. I think this demonstrates it, the fact that just about the entire city council is here. So I want to thank them for being here, right? Yeah. And you know, I told the crews yesterday that given the schedule these guys have me on, I don't get a chance to drive around too much. And so I get to go from home and City Hall and back. But when we're doing streets, when you all are doing streets around City Hall or around the older inner city, I get a chance to see them. And we're doing streets there too. We're doing them in every city council district. But today or this morning I drove by, I think it's either Park or one of the streets over there by the Water's Edge Park, and that street looked beautiful. We're doing it. The city crews are doing it. I almost turned around to go look at it close up because it looked too good to be true. It was perfect, right? Yeah. So we're doing great work out there. The council knows that. The crews are doing great work. We have reestablished ourselves as an agency or as a department that can self-perform. We're paving our own streets. We're monitoring our contractors closer. We have a 5-year plan on streets. We've bought millions of dollars of equipment. We've retrained and continue to train our crews. We're back at it with street maintenance. We're making tremendous progress. Next Tuesday, City Council will be providing an update, as Councilman Molina has requested, on the progress of our 5-year IMP. So that'll be next Tuesday. So let's talk about Richard for a little bit, right? So I think one thing we can say about Richard is that that guy was a lovable person, right? On the drive here, I was thinking about, did I ever see Richard kind of in a bad mood or having a bad day? And no, right? That was one of the great things about the man. He just exuded positiveness and energy and just a great spirit. And he loved what he did, both at the job and off the job. I was thinking of all the visions I had of either pictures or in-person things like his motorcycle, his campers, his trucks, his love for the outdoors, right? His love for people, his wife and his family. When we recruited him down here, one of the ways I got him down here was that his granddaughter, is that it? His granddaughter, he could see her in less hours travel than Fort Worth to around the San Antonio area. I said, Richard, you'll be able to see her and cut 8 hours off that trip, 4 hours each way, you know? But really it was the fishing that got him down here, but right? But that helped, the distance to see his family. So, but he loved his profession too. And yesterday when we were talking to the several hundred employees, that's a tough profession. Being out there in that sun every day, operating heavy equipment. But somebody like Richard inspired people to want to do that every day because he loved what he did. And we don't see people like that often, right? I love meeting people like that when I do see them, and I try to see them more often than not because when somebody loves what they do and it exudes from them, there's a spirit that you can see. That really makes a huge difference in a day, right? And so Richard had that. And we're sorry he's gone, but part of that challenge is for us to be that way too, right? We can all be that way. Maybe not as good as Richard was, but we all have to be mindful to be that way. So on the building itself, on the name, coincidentally this week we had a ribbon cutting for an affordable housing project right in the near downtown. Councilman Molina was there. And one of the speakers said every day when he goes to his office and sits at his desk, he reads 2 quotes. Now, I forget exactly what the quote said, but I said to my mind, well, that's pretty cool. Every day you're reminded of something, right? His quotes were basically like, do the best job you can do in life and don't be stale, basically, I think were the quotes. And we have those in life, right? We go to church, that's a reminder of the Bible, and there's constant reminders. But for me, the thought of this building, every day employees walking in here and seeing Richard's name on that building, for those that knew him, and I think the legacy he had, people won't even have to know him in the future because they'll hear about him. They will be reminded of Richard and the greatness that he was as an individual, as a leader, as a professional, as somebody who cared, as somebody that could be anybody's friend. And so when we see his name, this is just not a dedication of a building of some name that, you know, that maybe they did great things. This is a dedication of a building with a name where every day, every employee can see his name and be reminded of all those things that made Richard such a great guy and something that makes us want to be that same great guy or girl. So those are my thoughts on the building dedication. So we have a few other speakers who are going to speak this afternoon. And then instead of doing we're going to pull down like a drape over there, but it was so windy. We said, you know what? Probably better not do that. So we're going to we're actually going to cut that ribbon behind us. But on behalf of the city executive team and the city, we want to thank the persons for being here, Rich's family, for the crews that are out there. We thank you for working for the city. We thank you for re-establishing and rebuilding our streets. I know that when I was hired, the council's top priority for me, and it still is today, was to get our streets back in order. And we're doing that. You all are doing that. We can have some interruptions in success, like Richard's passing, but we know more than ever Richard would want us to keep moving forward, and we're doing that. And so even with small hiccups, we know how to keep going forward. And so that's what we're going to do. And the dedication of the building, again, is an opportunity to be reminded of Richard every day and to strive to want to be as strong as a person that he was in our profession. So thank you for letting me speak this afternoon. With that, we're going to have Lisa Oliver, who's going to speak on behalf of the mayor, and then Councilman Ben Molina, who actually was the one who requested that we do a dedication. So thank you, Councilman Molina, for having that idea and intuition. We're going to have him speak as well. And then I think we have one more speaker, then maybe one other person. Okay, we're going to open up to several other council members, and then we'll do the ribbon cutting itself. All right? Thank you all.
Uh-oh. Maybe I need a cap here. Well, good afternoon. Although the mayor could not be present today, she has tasked me to deliver the following message to the family. It is my deep honor to pay tribute to an extraordinary leader of unparalleled integrity, Richard Martinez. His legacy of service to our city will not only live on through the dedication of this building that will proudly bear his name, but also in the transformational work accomplished throughout his career with the city of Corpus Christi. As the streets operations director, his vision and mission was to improve and move forward every street and every neighborhood in our community. I, along with so many others, can attest to Richard's great love for Corpus Christi and incredible heart of gold, which is what motivated him to seek avenues to improve the community. Moreover, Richard was also my friend, and he's dearly missed every single day. Mabel, we are also blessed with Richard. Thank you for allowing him to shine. And just on a personal note, I had an interaction with Richard one day. It was a council meeting day, and we were in the conference room, while council is going on. And then he started sharing his career path, and he asked me how long I had worked with the city. And it was evident that he truly was passionate about his profession, but then he also shared about his family. And Mabel, I just want to share with you when he shared how you all met, and I thought that's like a Hallmark story. Somebody needs to write that. So again, he was a gentleman that everyone truly respects, and with his integrity and character. So to the family, thank you for sharing Richard with us, with the city of Corpus Christi. Thank you. Councilmember Molina will now join us. Okay, hold on here.
Yeah, let's figure this out here. Well, today's a great day, right? It's somber, but it's an opportunity for us to celebrate a person who has impacted many of our lives, and you can tell how much of an impact he's made by just looking around and seeing the amount of people that are taking time out of their day to be here for this very important, special day. I remember first meeting Richard, and you can't help but like the guy right off the bat, and it was like, yeah, to know him is to love him, right? Great personality, great character, and even though he's a work colleague, I considered him a friend. And so when he had passed, I wanted to do something that would commemorate his memory. And so I brought the idea forth of dedicating the building to him. And I'm appreciative that my colleagues here, who I believe are going to say a few words also, were supportive of that. It's important for us. When Richard came on, it was a turning point for us as a city. We have worked so hard. Councilmember Smith and I were here initially, before our colleagues joined us here. We'd been serving together, and it was almost, in some cases, it felt like punching the air when we tried to bring forth ideas and methods to deal with our street issues. But then Richard came along, and when you talk to Richard, yeah, I remember a conversation saying, Richard, why don't we do this? And he said, well, we should be doing that. We need to do that, and we're going to do that. And it was that kind of attitude that really inspired and motivated the team here at the city. And we're in a much better place today as a city, both physically and as an organization, because Richard's presence here. So thank you all for joining us today. I do have some remarks. I was going off script, sorry. But when describing Richard, you hear a lot of terms: innovation, leadership, and dedication. These are all great attributes and undoubtedly true. But when you think about all that he's accomplished in such a short time, you see his initiatives taking hold and bringing about positive results. When you see the Public Works Department now rising to a higher level, then you'll recognize that Richard Martinez was the catalyst for change in the Public Works Department that will resonate here for years to come. He set the bar at a level of excellence, and now as the city moves forward, we now strive to meet that challenge every day. Richard was a good friend of me and those he worked with, and in addition to putting his name on this building, there will also be a plaque to honor his service to the city. And the plaque, there's a phrase that says it all. The plaque says, "We spent so much time together, we have become a family." And today, we, as a family of the city of Corpus Christi, are very proud to have his name on the Public Works Department building, so that everyone who enters this facility will remember Richard's legacy. So with that, I believe we are going to open it up to my colleagues here if they'd like to say a few words. All right.
Thank you, Ben. Well, thank you, everybody. Today, and in one way, is a special day, and honoring a very, very special person. And I had the privilege, Richard, when he first came down, he called me up. He stayed at my RV park for a couple of months with there. He came down early on there. He loved to fish with it. So I had that time to visit it with him. One thing Richard was very proud of, he was a Texan, a true Texan. His roots go back to the Alamo with there. His family and actually both sides on there. So, you know, his heart was here. But what was really special about this special person? It starts, Richard had a servant's heart. All of us need to take ideas, and when we see this sign, a servant's heart, what are they about? Serving the people, not yourselves. Richard always put, whether it's our citizens in Corpus Christi, all the folks out there, that special servant's heart with it. And then he added, we know Richard wasn't reactive, he was proactive. You know, he was sitting on Facebook, seeing issues out there, taking care of them. He was organized on there. He had this tremendous open mind to new ideas. He knew streets backwards and forwards. How did Richard start with streets on there? He started with a shovel in his hand in Pleasanton, Texas, working hot asphalt. Ended up here after tours in San Antonio and Fort Worth, changing the places there. Everybody that worked with Richard, I mean, we all, you know, I can't say enough about him. But I think as a city manager and all of us, we see Richard's spirit. And that's the one thing. We walk through those doors, we remember that very special Texan, that very special Corpus Christi, a servant's heart, putting the people first, putting everybody first on there, bringing everybody together, as the city manager said, always with a smile and that positive attitude. Mom, thanks so very much for sharing. Mabel, we loved him. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone. I'm Councilman Gil Hernandez, and as some of the staff knows, I have a history of taking people out to District 5 and going around, driving around towards our city manager. Even Sarah would join us on occasion to go around. And, you know, I want to say we went around 4 times going around District 5, looking at streets, residential streets, collectors, arterials, you know, the street that hopefully will exist here pretty soon, Rodfield Road, and stormwater, drainage ditches. I mean, we went through everything. And in that time frame, I built a relationship. My wife and his wife, Mabel, worked at Loft together. So we had something in common, and we would talk often. And we didn't always agree. I mean, occasionally we wouldn't agree, like the percentage of residential streets done in District 5 versus other districts, Mr. Zanoni. Considering the district got a little smaller, that percentage is a little smaller, so I'll remind you of that. But one thing that really stood out about Richard that really struck a note with me is that he cared. Ultimately, that's, when you look at what you want from somebody in a public servant, is that they care about the community, they care about the people that work for them, they care about everyone in the city that is affected by what they do. I'm gonna miss him. I miss him all the time. We lost a great leader in this city that was doing great things for us as a community. I can't say enough about Richard, and it hurts. It really does. I hope all of you miss him as much as I do. Thank you.
I want to thank everyone for being here, especially Public Works. I guess I knew Richard the least of my colleagues because I'm the new guy on the block. But what Richard taught me was unbelievable about streets. I mean, I knew nothing about streets. I still have a lot to learn about streets. But Richard made it so easy with his big heart. And it's like my colleague, Mr. Smith, Councilman Smith says, he was a servant and he's still serving because he's looking down on us. He's looking down on his great team that he put together here at Public Works. I want to thank God, first of all, because he brought Richard down to Corpus Christi. Okay? And that means a lot to the citizens of Corpus Christi. Mabel, I want to thank you and the family for coming here, believing in Richard and believing in Corpus Christi. It means a lot. And like my councilman member over here says, Gil, he is missed. I miss him every day. To him, the biggest issue I had about infrastructure, which was streets, because that's what I think we all ran on streets, okay, in our election. We got the message. But Richard met with each of us on each of the districts and of the large council members. And my biggest issue was when I got into this position was the red tape of getting things done. And what does Richard tell me? He says, Councilman, there is no red tape. I'm the red tape. I get it done. All you got to do is tell me what is it that you need, and I can tell you yes or no, and let's move forward. That's what I loved about Richard. There was no red tape. He is going to be missed. I miss him every day. We're all going to miss him. But he changed this city so quickly in such a short time. People don't get their names put on buildings, ladies and gentlemen, in 3 to 4 years that they're here. They get it for 30 years that they served in the department. Okay? Richard did it in a short time. So that told you how much he's changed Corpus Christi. His name up there reminds us of his bubbly personality. I loved it. Every time, there was nothing negative ever coming out of that man's mouth. Nothing. You could give him the worst street in the city, and he says, well, we can take care of that, no problem. all I say is to the public works people, every time you walk in here, have that bubbly personality, and we'll move this city forward like he wanted us to do. Thank you so much.
Well, first off, I want to say my compliments to the public works people who put this tent up. You did an outstanding job. As Councilman Lerman said, I'm Mike Pusley. I'm one of the at-large members here, and we just came on the council, and so we had the shortest time working with Richard. But I want to tell you, I've served in 2 other bureaucracies as an elected official, and I never met anybody who is more dedicated and more loyal to their constituency than Richard Martinez. Every time that I ever called Richard with a problem, he was there to answer. And the other great thing was that he appreciated and loved the people who worked for him. And I think what Richard showed all of us is how great we could be, not only in this department, but in other departments. He raised the bar for all of us. And we're going to follow that legacy and that example for a long time to come. You know, when I first met Richard, I wasn't even on the council. We were at a public meeting out in the northwest area of Corpus Christi, and I was discussing an issue with him, and he took his card out and he said, "Here's my cell phone number, call me and we'll go over it." And you know what? I called him and he answered the phone. And that's rare. And so we're all going to, as everybody said, we're going to miss Richard terribly, but I think the legacy that he left behind, the example that he left behind, is going to carry on for a very long time. And I am so appreciative of that, and will be forever. And Ms. Martinez, none of us can fathom what you and your family are going through with the loss of Richard. But as everyone has said, each of us, every day, every week, say to one another, we sure miss Richard. But he's left us a legacy that we will follow. He's left good people in his place, and those people are going to follow in his tracks, and we're going to continue to make this department and other departments and this city greater for the example that he set. So thank you, and God bless Richard, and God bless his family. Thank you.
Howdy, I'm Councilman Martinez, and I'm also one that didn't get to spend as much time with Richard. This is also my first term, but in the short time that I knew him, he made such an impression. He was one of the first people on staff that introduced himself and came up and offered to help. Anytime I would go to a meeting somewhere, I remember a meeting in Flower Bluff, and I'm up there and I look in the crowd, and there's Richard sitting in one of the rows just smiling like he was always smiling. In city council meetings, he was always smiling. And I thought, man, he really loves what he's doing. And I didn't think I could see Richard smile any more than that, but I was Facebook friends with him. And so I would see pictures of him with his family in Cancun, and that's when you would really see him smiling. And I don't know how he did it, how he managed to be so good at what he did and put in so much time and be so successful, but still be able to balance time to still have with his family and with his wife, who I know he loves so much. It was really an honor and a privilege to get to know Richard and to work with him. And I also miss him. I miss how compassionate he was, and just what a genuine, nice person that he was, because it's not just about the work that you do. At the end of the day, it's the connection that you have with people, and Richard made those connections with people. I think that was as important to him as the job. And unfortunately for those that come after him, he set the bar very high. As it was said, he was very good at what he did. He knew what he was doing, and he set our expectations. He showed us what we can do, and he showed us what can be done. For a long time, things were put off because it was too hard. But Richard didn't put those things off. He came up with a plan, and he put that plan in place to do it. So Thank you all for being here. Richard is missed and he will be missed, but this is something that if anybody deserves a building named in their honor, it's Richard Martinez. So thank you all.
Great job, council members. Yeah, yes. So we're going to have Ms. Martinez Maribel speak as well, but I did want to acknowledge for the team that's behind us who's here. So Richard's wife is here, Maribel. His mom is here, right? His sister, his other sister. So 2 sisters. Did his daughter make it? Is his daughter here? Okay. So great. So big family that are here. That I just want to tell the family that this is some tremendous words from the council. I think we captured everything. Tremendous. And as they said, some of them hadn't worked with him all that long, but it didn't take long to figure out how great of a man Richard was. And so you heard it today from our highest elected officials. That kind of goes with the legacy of Richard. So thank you, each of the council members that spoke this afternoon. We want Maribel to come up and speak as well, Richard's wife. So Maribel Martinez.
Thank you. Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. Councilman, everything you have said is right. It describes Richard totally. And one more thing, he was fun, very fun. Yes, absolutely. Corpus Christi became our home. And now that I have moved out, every time I come over, it's coming home. It's always going to be home. And if I can ever help or support you in any way, you got it. This is what Richard taught me, to love the city, to love the people, the community, and to do the best for all of you. And I'm honored to be here with all of you, everyone, and thank you on Richard's behalf. With a grateful heart, I want to say thank you to Peter, Councilman, Mayor Guajardo for this naming of the building after Richard. It's an honor. Richard would be very proud and humble too. And if you remember Richard, he will not take it upon himself. He will always redirect and said, that's my team. It was my team. They did it. He always acknowledged and valued every single one of you out there. He knew who you were. He knew where you work. He knew your potential. He took that time to know his team, to know his people, and to support them and see what can he do for you to have you at your best, highest performance. Richard had a gift, and he was a visionary in every single way, in every single aspect. More than anything, he had an open mind, an open heart to collaborate and work with everyone in the city, friends and family. He valued everyone, and that is why we're here now, because we value him and everything he did for us. An exceptional man in every single way. He is truly missed. At the same time, thank you, because this will be a great reminder of who he is, and it always will be in our hearts. All of you, Public Works, happy week for last week. Just remember that reach out to your leaders. Always be your best. It is possible. We all can do it together. To our friends that we made here for Richard and I, thank you for all your support. Thank you for being here. For his team, we love you. You know that. He loved his team. I see you there. And family, Mom, Patty, there is no words I can say to fulfill this. But he is always in our hearts, and he always will be. And thank you all for your kind words. Thank you for this honor. I am very proud and honored to be here with you. Thank you to all my friends. Thank you for making it here. I am blessed to have you. Thank you, Corpus Christi, and let's keep working together.
Okay, we're going to have the elected officials. Ms. Maribel, we're going to do the ribbon cutting. Maybe you, Mom, yeah, can you guys, yeah, do you want to say something, Mom? Okay. Okay. I thought she was going to scold me or something, but yeah. Okay, let's go. We're going to come back here and do the ribbon cutting. Councilman Smith will help you get back there.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Cut it.
Got it.